Ciao ragazzi, I see 3 people coming through. I'll just give it another 30 seconds. It's a beautiful day today. Beautiful day. Beautiful day to kick goals. Beautiful day to achieve. Alright, because this is one of the throwback pieces, and not actually a news piece or a reactive piece or anything like that, can probably just go off the cuff and start it now, and anyone that wants to watch this back, feel free to just watch it back later on. As usual, if any channel members come through, just make sure you let me know. Good morning, doggy. Something about these little chap yap yap dogs, I'm not the biggest fan. Alright, so today's feel-good video. This week's stress-free content looks at another flashback, another throwback. Thank you to the 6 people that are joining me right now. And this is going to be a fun little one, because I woke up this morning, I'm like, alright, I've got to commute to the office today. Let's get that camera going. Let's get the live drive going. What should we talk about? And I thought about talking the false racism flag that was flown by rival Juve fans online. And I say rival Juve fans because it was only Juve fans doing it. No Roma fans projected it online that there was racism. I've seen the same Juve fans circulate the same image across social media for 5 days now. If there is something racially motivated in that fixture, and something would have come out by now. You've basically got 70,000 people in the stands, and you've got about 25 media outlets on the ground floor, and not one individual and not one media outlet at that game can project an image of bananas or can project a video or an audio of monkey chants or anything like that. You want to know why? Because it never happened. It never actually happened in that game. And the more that people try to prove this, the more that rival fans try to prove it, the more you come out as a narcissistically, psychopathically insecure, egotistical human being that was never actually motivated by justice in terms of racism. You were motivated in terms of projecting your insecurities of yourself and your own fans. You were not happy with the way your fans monkey chanted a person last season in the Coppa Italia. You were not happy at the fact that your transfer market centered around making sure he didn't come back to Inter, and you're even more unhappy with the fact that his replacement has not only done well but buried him and ended his career yesterday. So that's the first thing that I just wanted to get off my chest, because it's now Thursday, and I said this on Sunday and on Monday. If this is true about the racism in the stands, they won't be able to hide from it. It's 2023. Yeah? 48 hours is like 48 years in social media time. What's up, Harry? I hope you're good as well. Nothing's come out. I stand to be proven wrong and corrected, but if nothing comes out, it's just another shit stain on a few people as bad fans, because you're projecting something that's not there. And it's a bad look on your character. It's a bad look on your character to say, there was racism, I'm 150% sure of it, even though I've got no proof. That just shows that you don't care. You don't care about the perceived justice that you're trying to portray. You care about your own ego and being right for the rivalry purpose. It's insecure, it's sickening, and you probably need counseling. Anyway, let's move on to something even happier, and let's talk about that Pazzini debut. Me too, Tim. I hope not, but at the same time, mate, if it happened on Sunday morning, it's bloody Thursday morning now. 70,000 fans in the stadium, 20 media outlets on the ground. There is not a single article. There is no article. Not even on dodgy WordPress websites. I was linked one on a French website and told, is this enough proof? I opened the website. You know what I found? 3 sentences and a hyperlink to the Twitter account that had the original image. Don't buy into these narcissists, mate. Don't buy into sick people. I've got no time for them. Unless they genuinely need help and seek me out for other reasons. Sounds like nothing happened, hopefully. It's just salty. Anyway, let's move on to the reason for the video. Let's move on to the Pazzo. The Pazzo Pazzini Palermo debut. Wow, what a game. So I woke up this morning, I'm like, what am I going to talk about? I got fuck all to talk about on my way to work today. Let's think of something crazy. What's something Pazzo and positive that happened? And as soon as I said the word Pazzo, one head, one really ugly hairline, one really... I was about to get like borderline racist myself to my own Italian people, but let's not do it for the sake of this video. That was nuts, and I remember it perfectly, and this is a memory that always stay for me, because get this, yeah, not only was this the early kickoff in Sydney, Australia on a Sunday night, 9:30, 10 p.m, this happened in a year where one of our big mainstream channels, Channel 10, made a sub-channel called One Sport or 10 Sport, or I think it was One HD, something like that. My Aussie family will remember. They make this thing called One HD, and part of the initial yearly rights were that they were going to show one Serie A game per week. One game per week. And in January, only about 2 months after they agree the right to this deal, Inter versus Palermo at the San Siro gets put on mainstream TV in Australia at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. I'm a uni student at this time. First year uni student. Meaning I don't give a flying rat's ass about anything. Nothing. If you met me at 18, 19, 20 years old, you'd be like, oh my God, Anthony's a proper piece of work compared to what I know about him now. I would be the type of person to go out, turn up at home at 3 o'clock in the morning, set my alarm at 7 o'clock for an 8 a.m. lecture. Half the time I wouldn't go, half the time I'd go and be an absolute mess, learn nothing, come home, go to sleep, do the same thing over and over again. So there was no risk of losing even a minute of sleep, even though it was kickoff. So I'm getting all G'd up. Team's warming up. My parents are getting ready for bed. My dad wants to stay awake and watch it, but he's getting tired, and the poor still waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work, which he still does now. Absolute machine. Absolute machine. Yeah, Harry, like, you were in Australia as well, I'm guessing. So the One HD gets the rights. The kickoff's about to start. Now, keep in mind, this is the 2011/12 season. No, it can't be. It has to be 2010-11. It has to be 10/11, doesn't it? It does. 10/11 because we're talking January 2011 when the game is played. So it has to be halfway through the 10-11 season where we realize that Milito should have been sold after the Champions League final. Eto'o is pissed off. Schneider's not around much. We need to drop 16 million euros on Pazzini just to survive. Just to make sure we make the Champions League and can finish second to a Milan side who was rioting with Robinho, Ibrahimovic, Thiago Silva. Allegri was the manager, and they had just beaten Catania 2-0 that weekend. You know, we both had Sicilian opposition, and they did the business against my hometown of Catania. And then our boys Inter go up against partially where I've got bloodline as well, into Palermo, and we start poorly. So let's talk about the game. The game kicks off. Inter's against the back foot. We look a little lackluster. Davide Santon gets absolutely turned. Keep in mind, this is impressive, by the way. I know this game back to front. I've just done 8.5 minutes here in this video. I haven't looked up shit this morning. I don't know anything about this game apart from what I previously knew this morning. And I think I know a lot about this one. That's why I was confident to just off the cuff turn on the camera and go, no, I know this game. I know this game like the back of my hand. We don't have many chances to start the game. Davide Santon gets absolutely turned, and I'm going to say I actually think it was via Iachich. Or I know Iachich was part of the build-up in the goal. John Nunez, big shout-out to you, my G. Big John Darwin Nunez. Of course you can get a shout-out. You didn't even have to ask, but since you did, I'm going to shout you out to the world. John Nunez! Southwest Sydney, bro. They've heard some weirder shit. So the ball gets whipped in, and none other than Palermo's prodigal angel himself, Fabrizio Miccoli, taps in, but doesn't tap in. He basically puts a hole in the back of the net with that tap in after the cross comes in from the right-hand side. Pure mid-range tap in. And then it just gets worse because Inter start to get more ball possession. I know that Milito fired a decent shot over the bar. I think Zanetti had a shot deflected that went to the right-hand side, albeit I don't know if that was at 1-0 or 2-0 because I think it's about 5 to 6 minutes before half-time, or definitely in the back stages of the first half, Nocerino bangs in an absolute perler. Not a full-blown peach into the top corner, but a shot that comprehensively hits a beanie-wearing Julio Cesar, who unfortunately was one of our biggest declinees after the treble season. And that's not good because at that point it's 2-0. It's 10:15 at night. My dad's in bed. He can hear me go, what the fuck's going on here? And I'm like, well, maybe I should just choose bed. And by choose bed, I mean get my laptop, take it to my bedroom, and do everything fun that you do as an 18 and 19-year-old. But we decide to stay awake. We decide to stay awake, and we decide to give it another chance. Yeah, I remember, bro. Yeah, Harry, except I wasn't playing Manager. I wasn't even playing FIFA. I didn't play PlayStation at night. I didn't enjoy it. When the sun went down, I had to be out, or I had to be socializing. If I was ever at home, all I was doing was just chatting up. That's all I was doing, man. Chatting, communicating, planting seeds. I played a lot of PlayStation during the day when I wasn't at uni, and I should have been, or I should have been at home studying and doing assignments. That's where I burnt all of my FIFA time, man. All of it. It won't surprise you that I graduated university with like bang average pass marks. Like I'm talking in between the 51 to 65 range in about 90% of my subjects. I did not care for high marks whatsoever, bro. We had a saying, P's get degrees. P's get degrees, bro. You pass and you shake your ass, man. Anyway, second half. See how I've got to drag out these videos because we're only talking about one topic here. Pazzini gets subbed in about 10 minutes into the second half. We haven't scored yet. It's not at this point in 2011, you're still at a point where you don't really sub players out at halftime. It's more of a modern development of the substitution game, I feel. Pazzini comes in, and I believe it might have been from, I'm gonna forget his name now. And this is where I'm calling on the 7 people in the chat. Show your colors here, bro. Oh, never mind, it's Kaja. I thought about it myself. There's a player starting with K that played in this game that was trying to break into our midfield. I believe Cambiasso and Thiago Motta were not only rotating poorly at this point, but also having personal disagreements at this point. So you end up with Kaja in this game, and his flick pass is sort of controlled on a half volley turn, or a turn by Pazzini, and he gets it into the bottom corner. At this point, it's 2-1 with just over half an hour to play. Then, just before the 70th minute, I think it was, and I'm going to be off by about 5 minutes per possession here. That's just a given. Around about the 70th minute, or about 10 minutes after we score that goal, Thiago Motta recklessly brings down a player near the box, and it may be or Bozzaretti. It may have been. It's like right on the edge. It might have actually been KR. It could have been one of those players, and don't hold that to me either, but it very could have, well, one of KR, Balzaretti, or Barzagli that he brings down on the area. No VAR, so you pay the ref's call. If the ref's called the penalty, it's a penalty. That's it. However, the penalty is saved. It is Pastore who steps up to the plate. He puts it to the right of Julio Cesar, who may come off his line. Once again, that rule can't be double-checked at the moment. But he saves it well. He saves it very, very, very well. Great save by Grande Julio Cesar. And it's 2-1. It's still 2-1. And only about 3 to 4 to 5 minutes later, we make them pay. Because Pazzini gets right in there again and grabs his second. And I think that one's from ahead. I think that one's from the head. I can't 100% confirm it. 2-2, 15 minutes to go. And at this point, it's just inevitable. We've got 15 minutes to grab the winner, and I just know that it's going to happen. And guess who makes it happen once again? The man of the hour, a debut for the days, a debut for the years, a debut for the books. Pazzini, Gianpaolo Pazzo Pazzini, takes the ball, is brought down, referee does not hesitate, points to the spot. Samuel Eto'o. I'm surprised Pazzini didn't step up and try and get the hat trick there. I'm sure if it wasn't a dire situation where we had to get the points and we had to get the winner, that he would have. But anyway, long story short, Samuel Eto'o steps up. Rest is history. We've still got to play the last 10 minutes of the game up 3-2, but we do it. We see it out, and there cruises out one hell of a crazy victory, man. One hell of a crazy victory. Proper Pazzo stuff. Proper Pazzo stuff, man. Pazza Inter, Pazzo Pazzini, 3-2, 3 points. And we're still thinking that we can go on and win the league. it didn't happen that year. Milan ended up running away with it. I think we actually, I don't know if we finished second or third. We might have actually finished third at the end of it, behind Juve. Actually, no, I think we finished second. I think we finished second in the first year after the treble. A lovely memory. I remember watching this game at my in-laws. I even remember where I was sitting on the couch. They thought I was crazy. They always think we're crazy, mate. Everyone who doesn't understand what it is to be an Interista always thinks we're crazy. Always thinks we're crazy. And to be honest, I don't care. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, that's where we're going to see today off. I've just got to make a quick pit stop before work, pick up something, and then it will be time for quite a busy day, quite a busy, boring day in front of the computer. So I think one thing I miss is getting out in the field, but whoops, and that's that we need to stop. I'll keep the content coming, yeah? Forza Inter worldwide.